Today we're going to go through those Vanda top cuttings that we've done that don't have any roots on them. We'll go through what to do with them to ensure that we do get some good root growth on them so that they can survive well and flourish and produce all these amazing flowers. Also, this technique is going to work well for those Vandas that you're trying to rescue, that you've only just got that top bit left alive and none of those root volume is viable any longer, or it's all been rotted off. And welcome to the Nature Company. If this is the kind of information you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and that notification bell to be notified of all our upcoming content so you don't miss out on a thing. Let's get down to seeing how we can get this to produce some roots. So this is one of the reasons that you may have a top cutting without roots. Your Vanda started to grow all over the show in different directions. Your root volume's here. You want to try to keep your plant nice and upright. So why not cut off this skew growth here to, for one, have a bushier plant, and two, keep everything contained. So we might just cut there at the bend. Boom. So what we're going to need is a large plastic bag and some hydrogen peroxide. What we're going to do here is turn this bag inside out. These are reused bags that I reuse from my orchid bark, so it comes in handy to keep them. And then what I need to do is wash them out properly and then get some of my handy hydrogen peroxide and spray it down. Because this is going to be holding a hot, humid climate, I really don't want all of those bacteria to be able to grow. So I've got to make sure that this is nicely sanitized, and I'm not going to keep any bacteria in this bag. This I'm going to have to let dry out nicely so that the fumes don't affect the plant. So this is just going to be left out to dry, and then it's going to be ready to use. So because we're going to be doing some hothouse magic, we want to ensure that everything, even our table area, has all been sanitized. We want to ensure we have a sanitized area with as little chance of bacterial spread or fungal spread as possible. So we're going to take our top cuttings that have no roots. We're going to have a look at them. There we can see a little bit of the beginning of a root bud formation, so that's a really nice sign. Those are no way underneath the leaf sheaths. Yeah, cut is before the end of the node, so this leaf sheath needs to just come off like that. And there we can see there's the node with the following leaf sheath, so that's all going to stay on now. So these two, we're just going to give a quick light spray, especially in those areas down there, just to ensure that we have no bacteria or fungal spores that are going to germinate in our nice, warm, humid environment that we're going to produce. And the reason that we need the warmth and the humidity is so that we can ensure that we don't lose any of the vigor and the leaf volume while the roots are setting. We want to try and keep the leaves as healthy as possible so that the roots can really be formed properly. And now ensuring that we're going to have as little infection as possible, we're going to take a pinch of our trusty cinnamon, and in this open wound area, we're going to dab that on. So we want to make sure that's a nice strong coating. It's antibacterial and antifungal, so that will do the trick nicely. Now ensuring we're going to have some humidity in the environment, we're going to use some of the sphagnum moss. And here we have some tap water that I've treated with a liter of water with 1 teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide and then left to stand for 24 hours so that all of that hydrogen peroxide has done its trick and killed all the bacteria and not left any foul smells or fumes that are going to affect the plant in any way. And we'll use this water to moisten our sphagnum moss. So we'll just leave this to soak up that water. And here we're going to use one of these air pots. We want to keep as much air movement going as possible so that the roots can then find their way to where the moisture is, and that's what helps force them come out. We just need some of these stones that we're going to put in. These are completely inert and have been treated with my hydrogen peroxide already. We don't want any of those bag bugs catching a lift in between the rocks. I'm just putting a small amount at the bottom to give weight to the bottom of the pot, so that we're not going to have a tall pot with our tall plant sticking out the top just constantly falling over all the time. Also, it will hold that extra little bit of moisture at the bottom but not hold any water. So now that our bag is nicely sanitized, we can turn it back out to have the sanitized area on the inside. So all we're trying to do is just keep it to a minimum. We're not going to be able to keep them all out, but we just want to try and keep it down. There we have our air pot, and we will just place our top cuttings in on top, and that's all we're going to do. It's as easy as that. We'll open up our bag, take our pot, and put them down into the bag. So now you ask me, why did I go to the effort of doing all this moist sphagnum moss if I'm not going to use it? Well, I am. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to take it and put it around the base of the pot. I'm not putting it into the pot, I'm just putting it around the base of the pot. This is just to ensure that there's always some moisture in the bag, but without actually touching the plant whatsoever. This is going to help force the roots to come out and find the water. And then all we'll do now is we'll take this top edge of our plastic, do a little roll, and tie a loose knot. So we're going to put this in a nice warm, bright area, not direct sun, because then we'll just bake the plant in the plastic. So we'll just put this in a nice, bright, warm area, and in about 6 to 8 weeks we should have some really good root growth coming out of them. Already we saw one had that nice little root knob, which is just going to stretch out and find that water quite quickly. So we'll keep you updated as to how this goes, and follow our shorts for that. And thank you for watching. If you have found any of this information helpful, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, and that notification bell, bing bong, to be notified of all our upcoming content so you don't miss out on a thing. Help us grow as we help your orchids grow.